Things in the hospital have been so stressful, so I asked Sam to put together a reasonable, fun TikTok compilation that I can react to. Maybe some hantavirus stuff just to get that covered. Huge thanks to Ground News for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. Whoop.
Oh my God.
When you think the Fox distribution system chose you, but the saxophones start getting louder. What?
Oh my God.
Oh!
It bit me! It bit me!
Fox bites are one of the leading causes of rabies. In a scenario like this, I'm running to the hospital, getting post-exposure prophylaxis, getting all the injections, coming back over several days. It's a really annoying protocol, but you'll be safe from rabies.
Bro, go home.
It's so cute.
It's not cute, it just bit you. It's gonna give you rabies. Rabies is fatal. And I mean like 100% of the time fatal. Okay. Oh. This is on another planet. He's like this is from a video. We did this before.
No, actually everything goes through your digestive system like this.
Oh my God, his hip flexors, his iliopsoas, quadratus lumborum. Yo, initially I was gonna critique his lack of balance on the dumbbells and that being a safety risk. There is no safety risk when you're on this level. The only safety risk is I hope someone's sitting on that other side of that bench. I can't pop my ears on planes or underwater because air just leaks out of my eye. Oh, interesting. The eustachian tube is the tube that regulates pressure from the ear to the sinuses, and it acts like a pressure release valve. You can have scenarios where that air can escape through different pockets. Remember, the airway is a unified airway. That's why if you ever see in a boxing match, if someone has an orbital fracture, we never tell them to blow their nose because sometimes it can push all the fluid and blood into the eye socket area and create an orbital hematoma that makes it near impossible to see.
It's time to eat our monthly vegetables.
Time to eat our monthly vegetables.
First, we dehydrate it for a long time. Now we're gonna crunch it up in the dust and then put them in pill capsules and then swallow them. These are vegan cellulose pills. We're gonna take this, close it in there, boom.
Bro, think about how much of the pill you need to take as opposed to just eating a few leaves. Why are we trying to hack our way from enjoying food? You can eat healthy and have it be tasty. And by the way, if he took those capsules, threw them into a container and said, magic green potion, he could sell them. It's not illegal to do this. The FDA does not need to check on his The only time they do is if someone dies from it or gets really sick, or he starts making claims like these magic pills cure cancer. But instead, if he could say vitamin mixture that supports cancer fighting metabolites, whatever, that can be a claim that could work. Uh-oh. Are they bungee jumping with, I don't even know what material that is. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh my God. First of all, there was not enough give in that rope. I feel bad for his ankles. The anterior talofibular ligament, calcaneofibular ligament, his Achilles, even his low back. That's an enormous amount of strain and traction on the spine. God, you can develop some serious injuries there. Is this just like cold cryo sciatic pain? Is this just cold temperature? Because if this is just cold temperature, there is no difference between doing this and ice. This is fancy, expensive ice. Some people get relief from icing their low back, but whether you ice your low back or do an expensive, fancy treatment with a gun like this, the results are the same. I like, for some situations, doing the ice on off 20 minutes at a time, a few times a day. But there is some new evidence when there is actual ligamentous damage that icing can actually delay healing. So food for thought.
I went to Korea for a skincare treatment that's illegal in the US.
It's not regulated, which I guess you could say is illegal, but that's not what I would say.
I went to the SNV clinic, where first a machine essentially Xeroxed our faces to find our defects.
Imagine you could just find your defects.
It turns out I have level 5 crow's feet, and my mid-face is elongating. Horrified at this news, I agreed to all the treatments. ultrasound waves, radio frequency microneedling, and the pièce de résistance, Rejurin. Rejurin was the illegal in America treatment we'd schlepped across the globe for.
Yeah, people talk about this being salmon DNA. It's polynucleotide, sometimes polydeoxyribonucleotides. It's a treatment that has some promise. It's very commercialized, so that already should raise some flags, but it's not snake oil. There is some promise in tissue healing and regeneration. And one of the biggest research articles on this that people frequently quote surrounding crow's feet was actually retracted due to conflicts of interest, and that's important to know. And some people call this a filler. It's not the same type of filler that we imagine that we use here in the United States, because it's allowing your body to create healing as opposed to injecting something that takes up space that allows your face to appear fuller in that region.
The doctor gave my brother a numbing injection, but skipped mine so that I could be honest with you folks about the pain. Holy sh**. Oh my. After 150 injections, I looked like a Guillermo del Toro monster. Oh no.
And again, not long-term results, not perfect evidence on this. I would wait for this to hit mainstream before starting to even consider this. There are more well-proven methods on the market these days.
It's 3 weeks later, and my face looks, well, the same to me. They suggested I come back in 3 months. It might be time to work on my personality.
We should all be working on our personalities, salmon DNA or otherwise.
Do you guys want to hit the buffet? I hear they have lobster. The downstairs pool has cholera now, but the upstairs one is open till 10 p.m., so we're good. Girl, guess what? Abby got malaria, so our next cruise is 10% off.
Wait.
This is not funny because hantavirus is happening and it's top of mind for everybody. Ebola outbreaks are happening. CDC is now doing screenings at airports. Ugh.
Guys, that hot guy over there is giving out free shots. Go get one.
Okay, who wants tequila?
No, like vaccines. We all had an exposure last night.
Wait, to what?
That's post-exposure prophylaxis, not pre-exposure prophylaxis.
I never want this trip to end.
Girl, it won't. The captain just said we have to quarantine for life.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have been asking me to make a hantavirus video, and initially I was quite skeptical whether I should, and now I'm really feeling like I should, simply because of so much misinformation out there. People are making all sorts of claims that hantavirus doesn't spread human to human, so this is all made up, not true. This specific strain of hantavirus, known as Andes strain, actually does spread human to human. It's a limited spread human to human. It can create a very unique pulmonary syndrome that can be fatal. It did start happening on this cruise ship where an individual likely acquired it from some kind of rodent in Argentina, brought it onto the ship, spread it with people that they were interacting with closely. Then the ship went into quarantine. All the individuals that came back to the United States are under quarantine, either in a facility or in their homes. So much misinformation. I saw already people on Twitter talking about ivermectin as being the cure for this. We all need to pump our brakes, but if you want to see me do a dedicated video on this, I always lead with the mantra, alert, not anxious. If you want the video, let me know down below in the comments. And what's been most disappointing is how media has covered this outbreak. That's why I'm such a fan of today's sponsor, Ground News. They're a website and app designed to make reading the news easier and more data-driven. Each day, they pull in thousands of articles from around the globe and organize them by story. And every story comes with a visual breakdown of the political bias, reliability, and even the ownership of the reporting outlets, all backed by ratings from 3 independent media monitoring organizations. As for hantavirus, right away you could see that over 300 news outlets have reported on the story and even see the political bias of the outlets covering it. You could also see a breakdown of the factuality and ownership. Who's paying for the reporting is really important to know. One of the best parts is their bias comparison feature, which highlights specific framing differences in the articles themselves, breaking down that language. The words these outlets use is no mistake. They're trying to make you feel a certain way about a story. Trust me on that. Ground News is not a news outlet. They don't write news articles. They're a platform for deciphering this chaotic news landscape we all live in. And honestly, we all need something like this more than ever. Subscribe now to get 40% of the Vantage plan by scanning this QR code or by going to ground.news/Dr. Mike. That's linked right there in the description.
You believe that some nonverbal autistic individuals can receive information from another person's mind telepathically, and that is their primary way of communicating.
Yes.
This is when we start leaving science in the rearview mirror and we just start allowing people to say things without any proof that they happen.
They're able to get the information in a nonverbal way.
Well, yes, humans communicate in nonverbal ways all the time, from tone to body posture. So there's all sorts of things that we can pick up non-verbally, but it doesn't mean we're telepathically connecting. That is a very different stage of communication.
I can't really explain it in your typical sensory way.
She's saying that she has no way to prove that this happens, because in order to prove something happens, you need to be able to describe the phenomenon outside of just saying you feel like it exists.
And you know, some people are gonna say this sounds insane.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I actually don't think it sounds insane. I think it sounds profitable. Oh, he's clicking. Ooh, what is he gonna get? 1,000 clicks. He's gonna get 1,000 clicks? 1,200 clicks? How many clicks? Oh, he's oh. Stop. What did he get? How many clicks?
I think it was like 760.
Oh, 760 clicks. Interesting. I wonder if you have a fine tremor. Would that help you beat that world record? Could that be you using a disadvantage like a tremor, an essential tremor, to set a Guinness World Record? We are both Guinness World Record holders because we just set the Guinness World Record for most people earning CPR in 1 hour at the NFL draft with Damar Hamlin and the American Heart Association. Shout out to them.
There's no evidence to say it really does anything valuable, and it's expensive, it's time consuming. And then I'm gonna come in there and be like, oh, in my fancy suit, I'm gonna tell you to get a cold plunge. And if you do it for 3 minutes and not 3 minutes, 13.4 seconds,
All right, let's
you
pause
fail.
this guy.
Oh my God, you gonna pause this guy? Pause me, guy.
Like if 2 minutes is too much out of your day to reverse your type 2 diabetes.
Bro, it doesn't reverse type 2 diabetes. I have to bring patients back numerous visits, diabetes education, nutrition education, trying to find ways to encourage them to exercise. If their diabetes is at such a bad level, figuring out medication options, making sure their blood pressure is under control, that their cholesterol is under control, that we're having them visit specialists, eye doctors, foot doctors to prevent the complications of diabetes. And you're out here telling people 2-minute ice bath will solve that? I wish you were right, my friend.
I might not be able to solve that problem for you, Mike, because I got to admit that metformin is a lot quicker than a 2-minute ice bath.
It's not! It's a huge pain in the ass. It has side effects. It costs money. No, it is not easy to start a medication. And no, I would much rather not start a medication. But if the choice is between letting the patient suffer or start a medication, I will start the medication.
It takes you 20 seconds to pop that metformin pill, and it will bring down your blood glucose. It will do it at the expense of your mitochondria.
My guy learned one part of the cell and he repeats it over and over again.
If you can exercise an ice bath, you got no business taking metformin.
What are you talking about? I have patients in amazing shape who have diabetes and exercise.
Because it will damage the benefits you're trying to do for your mitochondria through the ice bath and the exercise.
My mitochondria right now are screaming internally.
You ready for my party trick?
Oh,
65-year-old male suffering from severe peripheral vascular disease manifested by claudication of the left calf.
Claudication usually means a blockage. I'm wondering if there is a blood clot, a DVT, or is this a peripheral arterial disease where this is an arterial blockage, usually brought on by one of the biggest risk factors, smoking. And patients will show this as they take steps, developing more and more muscle pain because there's not enough blood flow going to that muscle and it's dying, similarly to how a heart attack happens. And having peripheral arterial disease is one of the strongest risk factors for having a heart attack. Similarly to how erectile dysfunction is, strokes, diabetes, all these are vascular problems.
10 days post-op for Mercy General after having an aortic bifemoral bypass. No more post-operative course till about 6 hours ago, and he began to experience the gradual onset of lower left quadruped without palliative or provoking factors.
I'm upset he didn't do this on our podcast.
On auscultation, diminished breath sounds were noted at the base of the patient's right lung. Intrigued, I tested vocal freminence per Bates second edition, leading me to a diagnosis of pleural effusion confirmed by this radiograph, which shows fluid in the patient's right costophrenic sulcus.
Wow! Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Okay, I don't know why she's saying that. That had nothing to do with what he said. Howie Mandel pulled the exact same stunt on me, and I didn't know what to say, except golf clap.
I remember we had a scene, somebody had a gunshot wound to the chest, and I remember that I had to call for D5 lactated ringers, colloids, O-negative blood, an intubation tray with a 22-centimeter endotracheal tube, an open thoracotomy tray, and 2 number 16 central intravenous catheters and a mass suit stat. That is probably 40 years in my head, and it doesn't leave.
You know, we were on Air Force One the other day, and I walk in there because he wants to talk about something, and he's got an orange soft drink on his desk.
Okay, so like a Fanta?
He's got a Fanta on the desk, and I say, are you kidding me? So he starts to like sheepishly grin. He goes, you know, this stuff's good for me. It kills cancer cells.
It's the hypocrisy for me. And not the hypocrisy for drinking the soda. Drink the soda. No one is trying to control people and tell them what to do. We live in a free country, all that good stuff. But your Secretary of Health and Human Services is telling everyone that they're destroying their lives by drinking soda. And you're out here drinking soda saying it kills cancer cells. Like, at least have some continuity to your messaging.
And then he tells me it's fresh squeezed. So how bad could it be for you?
Well, okay, I'm gonna allow humor. So humor medicine is allowed. If you're gonna be ridiculous about it, I'm not gonna fact check humor.
Okay, but then maybe he's onto something because
I'm trying to give you a pass, bro!
I will say this. I know a lot of guys pushing 80.
Looking at an individual's habits and trying to draw conclusions from an N of 1 is near useless. And yes, I'm gonna get some dude on Twitter/X coming in and being like, no, N of 1 trials are so valuable. Yes, they're valuable. But no, I do not look at those who smoked their whole life and somehow made it to 90 as a reason why smoking is healthy. In fact, someone tried to do that on the podcast and then sent me a cease and desist, and we saw how that went for them.
Total charges. What's your guess?
67 days in the NICU is a long time. $1 million?
1.3 million. 2 million.
Wow.
$268,658.54.
I mean, if you think about how many people work in a NICU, how much staff needs to be reimbursed, the hospital facility, medications, I'm sure treatments were done, perhaps surgeries. So that bill can add up. I'm hoping that they don't have to face that bill on their own and they do actually have insurance that covers it with perhaps a small out of pocket. Ooh, okay, so this is acantholytic. Acanthosis, no, ichthyosis. Come on, Mike. This is a very problematic skin condition because remember, the skin is the first line of immune protection from bacteria, viruses, fungi. If you have damage to your skin, it can actually ruin your ability to manage hydration levels. Lubrication is very important. Not bathing in extreme temperatured water, very important because that can further dry out the skin, further damage it. A very tricky situation to handle. We actually reacted to an entire video from Body Bazaar that included a patient with Harlequin's ichthyosis. Click here, check that out, and as always, stay happy and healthy.